Well, let's look at that.
We'll bring the Selectmen's meeting from March 24, 2014 to order. First order of business is approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Oh, make a motion, and it's accepted as read.
Second the motion. All those in favor? Two in favor.
Was present.
Financials before the warrant, $196,088.08. Warrant of $19,484.33. Payroll warrant of $735.07, leaving a balance of $175,868.68. Old business.
Which really isn't, but...
Appoint a chairman of the board.
Nominations, but I would nominate Alan Grant.
Alan Grant. Yep, second it.
Alan Grant's been nominated and seconded. All those in favor? Two in favor, one not voting. Next item, response to Gilbert pertaining to charges. Changes.
So he said he's waiting to hear from you.
Have you looked at that yet, Jay? The changes that Gilbert sent? No.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
It's in the office.
Yeah.
No,
We'll just
He's
postpone
waiting
that.
to hear from you to
Yeah,
decide where to move.
Okay.
To go with it. Maybe grab it before you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
We'll just postpone that until a later date, until we get a chance to look at it. New copier, old copier.
New copier was delivered today. We had the old copier. They didn't want it. They said it wasn't worth taking. They would have discarded it. Suggested perhaps donating it to a non-profit organization. They said if you sell it, you're selling it with the problems that it has, the fact that it can't get fixed. But that was certainly up to you guys. So we need to decide what has to happen with them. We don't have room just to store that kind of stuff. So
If it's not usable, let's get rid of it, I'd say. I mean, no sense for us to lose the one broken up. How do we dispose of it? We just get rid of it, or let somebody come and get it if they want it, knowing what's wrong with it?
What if there's somebody out there that would take it just because they'd want to fix it and then put it back and sell it?
well, they said, he said it's not, a lot of times non-profits like something like that, and then they use it for as long as they can, and And when it's dead, and they have to dispose of it, but, so, kind of put it out there, I guess, and
Let's put it down.
first come, first
Yeah, there
served.
you go, at the next meeting.
Okay. I'll set it out on the side of the road in free time. It'll be gone by morning.
Put free on it, it'll be there next week.
Well, they'll strip it down, leave parts right there.
Okay. Need to vote on that. No. Letter for fire department.
You have a copy in there. Joanne Champney was in and needs something that just states that it was voted on at the town meeting to do this so that she can,
You have one that you want us
I do, I have one that
to...
for you to sign, if that was all right. She just needed to say that it had been approved at town meeting.
Pretty straightforward.
She had needed a couple of town reports and then just was moving forward with that.
Any other old business?
Yes,
New business, April calendar?
Grace's.
you still got old business. You guys, or you didn't to abstain, but they voted to send a letter to Machai Savings Bank.
Mm-hmm. That's something the three of us have to discuss.
Still waiting on
Yep.
some information on that right at this moment.
April calendar?
Can I ask you a question on that?
Yeah.
Is the update on that to the citizens is what?
The what?
I said an update to the citizens on that issue is what?
We're still waiting for information.
From the bank?
Not from the bank as far as I know.
No.
Our third selectman hasn't had a chance to look at it yet. I think we should allow him a chance to look at that.
So that's the information?
Hmm?
That's the information you're waiting on, is for him to look at?
Well, no, not totally. Got some, waiting to hear back from Jim Wadman.
Oh, okay.
And that'll be that.
Do I take it from that something was found?
No comment.
No problem. April calendar?
The dentist appointment. They don't keep Friday hours. Well, that's their money.
Oh, 8 to 1, I see,
Yes.
okay.
So they
Yep.
have a dentist appointment
Yep.
that afternoon, and they don't do Fridays. So, one every 6 months. So
Mhm.
I'll make sure it's posted.
Is there training in here, any?
Yes and no. It's supposed to be here and here. And we talked about it. I received the manual, and really, with the hunting and fishing licenses closed for a day, I'm really not convinced that it's worth it to go for 2 whole days and to pay me for an extra day and to travel. So they sent me the new manual, and
3/4 of it, you know, probably anyway.
especially for the hunting and fishing licenses. And it's just, you know. So,
Haven't had any called into question yet.
not
have
a
you?
single one. So,
Okay.
a lot of money for,
I think it's
Closed.
31st.
Hmm?
This is one of them odd week.
yeah, so there'll be
Yeah.
3 weeks between
Yeah.
meetings. And I decided not to be closed Patriot Day. Not a big holiday.
You're not gonna run in the marathon.
Thought about it, but I had
It's
work.
like a year now, isn't it?
Yeah. I see nothing wrong with it. I make a motion that we accept the April calendar as printed.
Second?
Been moved and seconded to accept the April calendar. All those in favor? 3 in favor?
Now, the minutes for the town meeting you don't have, because I had to present them. This is the new, with the new copier. I know you'll want time to read through. You'd have to have time to read through it anyway. That's something that our new copier does. So hopefully next year will make things much easier. I knew you'd want to have time to go through them all before you approved them anyway, so. You fancy-schmancy, huh?
You want to wait till the next meeting before we vote?
Make sure, double check my figures and make sure I have everything.
Next item is Nancy's wages.
At the budget meeting, it was discussed about increasing. The amount was approved at town meeting, however, one doesn't necessarily coincide with the other, so it's going to be an extra 50 cents.
It's your pleasure.
Over what we've already allowed, you mean? Extra 50 cents?
No,
No,
at the
no,
budget
that's what I
meeting,
thought,
it was
Right.
figured in that amount, but yet you
We
can't
still
really
have to
take
vote
a
on it.
budget meeting amount
It
and
goes from 1150 to 12.
I'll make the motion then that we increase those wages from 11.50 to 12 per year.
Second motion. Been moved and seconded to increase Nancy's wages from $11.50 an hour to $12 an hour. All those in favor? 3 in favor, none opposed. Lawn care bids.
well, I know it doesn't seem like it, but by the time we get an ad in, once the grass starts, so we need to put an ad in. I don't know what to put in exactly for this year, because in order to offer it, I mean, if Paul were to do it for the same price, it's probably not going to include this piece, this one here, so he really shouldn't.
Can we ask them to bid on together, and then when this goes away, then that will change? Or?
And that's what I needed to find out from you, how you wanted to handle it.
How did we get bids last year? Was it just for the whole year, or was it per mowing?
Paul did it for the same as he did the year before, so we didn't have to put it out last year. But I believe it was for per mowing.
Yeah.
It was per mowing.
So they could
Oh,
put
if
in
he's keeping track.
one with this building and one without, so that when it changes, we could... that
Yeah,
makes sense.
we could do it that way.
Keeping track, you ought to be able to.
Right, so
that.
once it becomes theirs, then
Right,
we could
yeah.
ask if they want to continue doing that for this year, or if they don't.
Okay, so 2 bids.
One with this building and one without.
Okay.
Now
Mr.
we
Chairman,
have paper for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, what happens if two people bid different as far as how are you gonna separate the bids out?
We've asked it for one with this building and one without.
But if one with this building from Chuck is 900 and one for the other one is 850 without this building, how are you gonna, if you say it goes away after Reads Across America takes over, how are you gonna?
Well, I guess I don't really know.
I would say, I mean, to me, it would be the same bid for, other than this building, for the entire summer, right?
Right. And then just an extra amount for this building for as many times as we need it.
Yeah.
Per moment.
Per moment.
Paul broke his down per section,
Right.
so we could say that person could put the bid in.
Or was it for the year, or was it for?
That is what we,
Did he have it broke down per mowing?
per mowing
He did.
each piece.
Yeah.
So if they listed it that way, then when that one went away, then,
Paul's not gonna do it next year for the same price?
well, it's gonna be less.
It's gonna be different.
Because once this building
Once
becomes
the
somebody
building's
else's,
gone,
we're not
yeah.
gonna pay for the mowing.
Are you gonna let him bid first before you put it out for bid, or at least tell you? Did he do it for the same price and then minus so much? You shouldn't take it away from him if he's gonna do it for the same amount.
Maybe get into the next selectmen's meeting? If you would, you think you would?
It's awful complicated.
Well, no, I know, but,
And maybe it won't be an issue, but it
right,
could,
well, I
it could
guess
be.
you could just talk to him, right?
Right, I can call him and ask him. If he, because he did break it down, so if he'd be willing to do it for that price minus what he charged.
Everybody else is willing to break it down.
At the same time, can we call and ask if they would just be willing to pick that up after the transition? In other words, they would just start paying his bid for
Right,
the
they
rest of
may
this
want to
summer,
do, right, okay,
just to get through the year, and then they can do whatever they want the next year.
That's right.
okay. So I'll do that first, check with him and
That
then,
might be easy.
Okay.
Also, can-
and then that, there still will be time. But,
I think
Well-
that's no brainer.
I mean, then by the next meeting is 3 weeks, and then you add 2-week bid process after that, that's the end of April, usually it's
First
all
one.
the time too, so. But, we'll worry about that.
At least when you could.
Next item, roadside cleanup.
We have a letter in your packet from the Washington County Sheriff's Office where they are offering help for roadside cleanup if people are interested.
Maybe some smiles over there.
Like offer,
But if you help, you have to wear the same orange jumpsuit they wear.
Oh, God. Are you gonna be out there? You can dress it up.
Well, I had somebody stop me once, said I'd look good in an orange
Orange
jumpsuit.
suit. Yeah.
they'll help with raking, sweeping, roadside litter removal, other labor services. I'm sure it's a first come, first serve.
Does.
Oh, that's right there.
Yep.
So, but if you're interested, I can get in touch and see if,
I think so.
I guess come up with a tentative date.
Is it
Get
free?
in touch with them. Hmm?
Is it free?
Hmm.
Usually all they ask.
Barren
is meet 'em
snow's
from-
all gone in the ditch.
free assistance.
Does he say
Doesn't
anything
look like
about
it,
lunch
right?
or anything?
Gee.
Okay. Next item is an ice out contest.
Downtown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alan suggested last year
June first.
doing something like that. And so I thought I'd put it on, and it's getting to be time when people might want to be, so I didn't know if you were interested in doing that or not. Guessing when the ice is going to go.
We paint little squares on the ice and then
Yours is the first to go.
But I don't know when you determine when the ice is actually, well, the first day that it's full flowing.
yeah.
When it goes quick, doesn't it?
Yeah. Maybe a few ice skates on the bank.
It was something to throw
What's
out
the
there,
prize
see if you
money?
wanted to do it.
Is there a prize?
I don't know, that's what we're...
free clamming license.
Yeah, you can clam the basin. Right? I don't know. Something to think about, maybe.
Well, you can't think too long, because the next meeting
I know.
is 3 weeks away.
Go.
The next meeting is 3 weeks away, so
Should be.
I don't know.
It's gonna be 7 degrees tonight. It ain't gonna go away anytime soon.
I guess you could make a big calendar, and it'd be all big on. I suppose a lot of people can then put the name on this date, that date.
And then you can always decide later what you're gonna do with
booby prize?
with the prize, or if you just get dubbed ice out.
Give a
Maybe just give them a
Get a
key to
head.
the city.
Gold citizens are
Go key.
So, but you know,
Yeah.
so we can,
Any other new business? Hearing none, offices and committees. Mike Bailey.
We got a snowstorm coming Wednesday, if you guys have heard.
And you're out of sand, right?
No. Not out of sand, but the roads are in pretty hard shape, so they're gonna probably be doing some damage, so just something to think about. Kinda disappointed that the town didn't wanna go follow through with the sand salt building, so it's gonna be up to the county what they do. I am going to approach them soon about a contract for another year. I wanna get that either signed, or if it's gonna go out for bid, I think it's something we should do earlier rather than later, so I thought I'd approach Robbie and see what his reaction was pretty soon, so just let me know.
Okay.
About all I got.
Yep. Dave Burham?
The fire department consolidation committee is going to meet tomorrow night back up at Columbia. And one of the articles, Wednesday night at police 7 o'clock, yes, so it's Wednesday night during the snowstorm. And one of the things that we're going to need to act on with Bolt Town sooner than later, and I guess we really didn't create the warrant article very well, is that we do need to start getting the boards formed from each town. And in our charter, suggested charter, we suggested that the towns choose, which means it didn't dictate whether they be appointed or elected. But, the only stipulation in that was that there'd be a selectman and 2 citizens from each town. So, whatever your pleasure may be, and I know there's maybe some other meetings coming up for town votes or what have you. Again, the way the article is written, some people would say that it has to be go to a town vote, but I'm not a lawyer, so just a reminder to the board that we do need to get that done sooner than later, so that board can start taking action on formation of the new organization.
I do believe you have to wait 90 days in something like that. I have to check into that, but like when his was changed from 1 year to 3, you had to wait 90 days, or because it wasn't that important, it waited till the next town meeting. But I think if you have something new like that before you bring people on, it has to be 90 days. But I can double check on that.
We should get it done before that.
Right.
Bon?
Mr. Chairman, I didn't request to speak tonight, but Mac Howe has approached me asking if I would continue to serve on that committee until you did appoint somebody, and my answer was I would if you people didn't object.
Will you continue in that
Oh,
capacity
yeah.
as the selectman?
That would be great.
Matt got hold of me and asked me if I thought he'd be interested. We'd have to ask him, but
Thank you, Bob.
yeah, they've done some good work. Yeah.
Is that all you had, Dave?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Tony Santiago, Union Hall.
The last few weeks, I've canceled the meetings because of weather. This week, it's going to be canceled again because of weather, and the NCAA. We'll have a meeting before the next selectmen's meeting. All I have to ask you tonight is if you got any bids for the interior work, and if you did, I have some information, what I passed out to you, some information that may help you just have a better picture of what we have coming down the road. The town raised funds are now $17,000. The fundraised account is around $6,000. So total available funds to date is $23,000. Jay, you had a good question last week about what I thought the work might be, and I really didn't know, but I just threw some numbers here together so you guys can have an idea what's laid out ahead of you. I threw this down, interior work, and again, this is what we call, in my past life, a WAG, a wild ass guess, about $17,000, $18,000. That's just a guess. Sewer and water, $10,000. Handicap ramp, the work that we have to do to that, $5,000. The reason it's up to 5 is because we're going to probably end up hot topping that. And, I know it's expensive, I don't know how much, but Tables and chairs, 6,000. That one always floors me for tables and chairs, but that's the estimates that we did, came up with our homework on. Floor refinishing, 3,000. Curtains, 3,000. So the total funds that we need to get to start using this building is around $44,000. $23,000 on here, and that leaves us 21,000 deficit. For grant writing, we made a contract with a grant writer for $1,250, which we paid her $650 at the start. That's for 6 grants. So we still owe her $650 at completion. But for 2013, we submitted the Bangor Savings, which was denied, the Belvedere, which was denied, and the Libra, which was denied. For 2014, we have the Davis Family Fund that's going to be going in May, the Morton Kelly that's going in July, and the Belvedere Fund again, which is going in September. And I listed what just possible usage, plug those into the things that we need to do. So that's information for you guys, and so we'll have a meeting before you have your next selectmen's meeting. Any questions?
We received one bid from Quality Construction. I hereby submit a bid of $22,000 to do the work outlined in the bid package. I have looked at the site and met with Tony and have a certificate. It says cert. I didn't know.
Period.
It kind of. No period. Certificate of insurance to file in the town office. From attending the Selectmen's meeting, I know this is over the amount of money in the account for this job. I would propose that the kitchen cabinets be put on hold at this time. By doing this, the price will be $17,200. Any problem with that, Tony?
When we walked on site with Rick, Nancy and I had looked into some cabinets at Home Depot and talked to them, and there are times when you can get damaged, or somebody ordered some cabinets and they didn't pick them up. You can get them at a really reduced price. So that would be all right with us if we went with everything except for the cabinets and the kitchen, that kitchen stuff. That would be fine with us.
That's
we
okay
could,
with it,
yeah,
right?
because we could go down and pick up the cabinets and get them put in. So.
Okay.
What was the figure without the cabinet?
$17,200.
What's the balance in that account?
Looks like there's total funds available right now is 23,000.
All right, that's 17. So they only have 17.
17 in the town, 17 give or take, it's 17 and something, I just rounded it off. And 6,000 in the fundraised account, for a total of $23,000.
What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
You call in that phase two.
Final phase, yeah.
That's coming
final phase.
into this, without
Yeah, it
as
would
much
have been
information, but I mean,
phase
if that's,
two or
if
five.
they're okay with it, it's the only bit we have, I don't know. I make a motion to accept this bid to have Richard Farnsworth do this work, $17,200 without the cabinets.
Do I hear a second?
Nope, I'm not gonna second it.
I will
You
second
guys
the
have
motion.
more information than I do, so I'm just,
Still,
what's your objection to that?
so the cabinets were $5,000, 1,000 something?
Cabinets and countertop, Jay.
What was the motion? Accept the bid.
Accept the bid at 17.2.
And I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to accept the $17,200 bid. That's to do all the work minus kitchen cabinets and countertop. All those, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? 2 in favor, 1 abstention. You have awarded the contract.
Should I ask this before, but we're hoping to get this in grants.
On the grants, the list that I gave you, Dave, last year, 2 years ago, we got a Davis Fund grant of $20,000 that allowed us to do the steps and handicap ramp, and went a long way. Last year, as I stated, we got 3 denials. This year, I have a very strong feeling that we're going to be fortunate in at least one of them that I know, because I talked to the Maine Community Foundation, which is a Belvedere people, and they said, make sure we put in this year, which she has never called anybody to do that before. She called me and said, just not telling you you're gonna, but make sure you put it in.
More money
Davis
available, but-
Foundation, we've been lucky with before, and I think we might be this year. So I'm optimistic that we're gonna have 2 grants come in.
Now, does the Belvedere grant, does that vary, or is that a set amount every year, or it's according to
No,
what you
it's,
put in?
we have it, that's a good question. We have an amount that we'll be asking for, and I believe it's 15,000. I don't quote me on that, but I think it's 15, and the Davis is 20. So, the Morton Kelly's 5 to 10 or something like that. So.
Who's doing your grant work for you, Tony?
Tracy Gamache out of Cherokee, we're very happy with her, very
She
pleased.
worked for the salmon. For the-
Yes, yes, yeah.
I have one question, if you don't mind. And this question is not taking food off his table. Are you going to be working on this project, Mr. Chairman?
No.
Thank you.
No other officers or committees?
I did forget, in the very front of your book, you have your appropriations, so if you would review those before next meeting as well, so that you could sign those at the next meeting with the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I've got one more question, if you don't mind, I should ask before you moved on. When we have our next meeting for the Union Hall or 2, if the discussion comes up about, which it will, we're going to discuss the cabinets as I talked tonight. So I kind of made that determination here tonight with you without having our meeting. So I'm going to bring it up and give them the opportunity to discuss the cabinets. And if we come back with a recommendation of we've changed our mind, would like to go with the cabinets, I will bring that to you at the next Selectmen's meeting. I just wanted to let you know. Fine with it the way it's going out tonight, but after discussion with the committee, they may recommend something different, like let's do it all. So, which we do have the funds to do it all. But just to let you know, food for thought.
All right. Citizens, no requests. We're open for a motion to adjourn. We got to sign warrants too.
Congratulations. Doing a little bit of it.
Yeah. Chuck, if you're story on Union Hall or something, just give me a holler, come on up and interview me, whatever you want to do. Any press is good, you know, good for us.
Oh, that's because it's the table.
You're standing there, somebody's standing.
You got that going.
Getting a good picture?
Now you're in front.
Come down, stay up there all night.
This is paper.
last week I was right up to your,
Yep, all right, that's a great idea.
And the thing is, what got me thinking about it again is response time. As soon as you know there's a problem, the more likely we are to keep it from burning down. Yeah, right.
That must be second.